awesome.
Yep, we are awesome. Unranked and Unhinged. We're recording very first podcast ever.
Yeah. We have talked about this for a while now, right?
We've talked about this for a long time, so we're going to do some crazy, stupid stuff. We're going to try to stay on topic, but yeah, right.
There's a very good chance that we won't.
No, we'll stray. Oh, by the way, we forgot to do our on-air sign, so we're already on air.
We are on air.
Yeah.
We're on air.
So how do you want to start this? Well, I guess we've already technically started.
We have started. So I have a little, kind of like a little intro.
Okay.
To kick off our podcast.
Awesome.
We have agreed to Unranked Unhinged.
Yeah.
Right?
I like Unhinged. It suits me.
I think it's going to bring a lot out of this podcast, a lot of different topics.
Awesome.
So let's hope.
Oh, I'm sure it will. We'll grow and expand and digress and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
I just cannot believe you sound so much better than I do on this microphone thing.
Well, I do have a face for radio.
But we're being recorded, so it's not doing you a lot of good. Hello. Yeah. Hey, and I would say too, before too long, we're going to come up with like really cool catchphrases and just stuff like that. Not now.
Yeah.
So, we could try out a bunch.
Yeah, let's do that.
As we go, we'll just do a catchphrase. Like, I don't know. It's got to be spontaneous.
I think a catchphrase where our audience will recognize it.
Oh, I thought we would. Okay.
Or do you want to do a...
No, you do you, man. I'm going to, I may come up with my very own. So are we starting? You said you were going to do a dance or something to begin with. What was it?
I don't dance. I don't sing. I barely do anything.
I sing very badly, but
I sing solo.
Solo, nobody can hear you.
There you go.
Hey, sound thing. We need you can't see this on there, but we've got this really, really cool little soundboard here, and it'll do sound effects once we figure out how to operate it.
All right, so
yeah. Hi, Gene.
So welcome, Bart.
I guess we just introduced people to our names.
Yeah.
To that point, y'all didn't know who we were. No. Gene,
Bart.
So
we are
Unranked Unhinged.
We are Unranked and Unhinged. This is the only podcast where the handicaps are high, the expectations are low.
Ooh, I like that.
And the fish are probably hiding.
The fish are hiding. That's right.
So,
Fish fear us.
And the beer is probably good.
The beer's probably good. I love it. And truly, we don't know exactly what we're doing. We're winging this, as you can see, because I'm holding a microphone to my mouth and Gene's not. And we've tried about 8 different microphones to make this work.
Yep.
We're in a really cool building, really cool little thing. You can see all this kind of neat stuff behind us. And we can thank you, Fred, for letting us do this in here. And it's pretty cool. And there's a whole lot of cool stuff you can't see. Like there's a condom machine over on the wall. There's all kinds of liquor over here. We may turn the camera at some point and do a tour, but right now I think Gene's got an outline of some sort.
Yeah, we're winging it.
Okay. Well, then I'm going to wing it because I think the very first topic that we talked about is golf. And Gene's very good at golf. I suck at golf, but I have fun playing golf. But Gene has been playing on a tour, and I think that's really cool. And not only do I think it's cool, I think a lot of other people out there would be interested to know a little bit about. And I'm not saying this to make it sound less spectacular, but how easy it would be for somebody who's not really good at golf to still go onto one of these tour things and have fun. You may not make your money back, but you would probably, I would say that you would elevate your golfing level just by being around that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. So the one thing that I have gotten out of this is my game has improved since I started this league. I've been on it for almost 2 years. The APT, which is Amateur Players Tour.
Amateur Players Tour.
Amateur Players Tour. Shout out to APT.
APT, love you.
So I, obviously, like you said, I love playing golf, and I love playing courses in my area, but I felt like my game was stalled. It had got to a certain point where I wasn't improving, and so my damn headphones.
You hate them? Well, they keep rolling. Put them forward on your head a little bit. See, I told you we're working the bugs out. And I just noticed I'd like slid clean out of the frame. I'll tell you what. Why don't we do this? We're going to do the Wayback Machine. Do y'all remember that on Wayne's World?
I'm afraid not.
I keep forgetting you're so young and I'm so old. They did the Wayback Machine, and so when they wanted to go back in time, they would both see. I can't do it with holding this microphone. Is it still turned up? Like if I go, can I talk in this one?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. Is this one going to like scream at me or anything now that I lay it down?
I've got it turned down.
Okay, perfect. We'll figure this out. But
I'll figure it out as we go.
Wayne and Garth on Wayne's World, they did a radio show like this. But when they would want to go back in time, they would say, we got to go on the Wayback Machine. And they would both go, doodle-doo, doodle-doo, doodle-doo. So you got to do that. Ready? Doodle-doo, doodle-doo, doodle-doo. Now, I wanted to ask Gene a couple of questions. So we're back at the beginning. I know how I got into golf, and it involved alcohol. How did you first start playing golf? Do you remember like your very first round?
So I got into golf, and thanks to my dad, I was 7.
Wow.
Obviously, his clubs were way too big for me. Obviously just want to be out there and try and do what he was doing. So he's self-taught. So he kind of showed me the ropes on how to play the game, and as I got older and bigger, obviously the swing came around. Yeah.
Is that when you walked side to side?
Yes.
Sorry, I digress. So Dad.
Yeah.
Dad was your first start.
He was. He played for many years. Obviously, growing up, he got me into it when I was 7.
Wow.
It was something that I felt like he even told me, there's something that we can take as we get older, and now that we're older, that's come true. Obviously, I have played all kinds of sports, from basketball to baseball, but I don't play those anymore.
Yeah.
But,
well, it's hard when you get old.
Yes, but golf, is as long as I'm able to walk and move around, that's something I hope I can continue for many years.
Well, both Gene and I are family men. We have wives and children, and my son now works at a golf course, and he fusses at me all the time. He says, "Why didn't you make me play golf, Dad?" Why? And I was like, "Listen, I made it available to you, and I even sent him up to our local course, and a friend of ours, and he's a golf pro, and he gave him lessons, and he went to the little camps, but he was not having it.
Yeah.
And so Max, you can fuss all you want, but I tried.
You tried.
But now he's a very good golfer. He, like I said, he spends a lot of time at the golf course, and he's still young, still in his mid-20s.
But
so.
he's the only golfer I've seen that can swing forward, but his ball goes 30 yards backwards.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah.
And we will hack on Max a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Here. He's also the only golfer that I ever heard of. I didn't see it. I saw the pictures of the aftermath of actually knocking a widescreen TV out. So Gene knows this story more. Gene was there.
Yeah, I was there. He 70 yards out. It should be an easy gap wedge. The only guy I could see hitting a gap wedge 200 yards probably, because the thing went beeline straight for the building. And here I am, a member at Glen Oakey, and all I can think about, oh shit. There's windows, there's TVs,
there's people. 'Cause it was like a little outdoor cafe thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little patio.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm hoping, I'm like, please hit the brick.
Please
Please.
hit the bricks.
But at the same time, you're like, if this thing hits the brick, what's it going to do after that?
Wow.
But he owned up to it.
Yeah, he said that they charged him like $300.
Yeah, they did.
To replace the television.
he knew the assistant pro at the time. They were really cool about it. They know stuff happens.
Yeah.
You can't. It's just kind of like people that live on a golf course. You're gonna get. How can you get mad in your house?
Yeah.
Getting
all you people who live on golf courses.
Yeah.
Listen to this man.
How can you get mad if a golf ball hits your home? It's not. People are not doing it on purpose.
Exactly.
But you chose to live on the golf course.
Yeah, it wasn't like you had a house and they built a golf course around it.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're probably going to get hate mail from this.
Yeah.
It's okay. But we don't live on a golf course. We can't afford that. So
Yeah,
anyway,
we're
going to make fun of you. If you live on a golf course, expect to get hit with a golf ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if a golf ball happens to roll into your yard, and unless there's, somebody doing a lot of damage, somebody going in and taking a big, huge divot. But if somebody wants to go in and retrieve their Titleist, don't freak out. I mean, it's not like we're going to go in there and do something crazy.
I tell you what I would love to do. If I lived on a golf course, I would absolutely do this. If my yard backed up to one of the fairways or holes and someone hit it into my yard, I would absolutely go out and just lay on the ground.
Oh, and act like you were hit.
Act like I was hit.
That would be awesome.
Just freak them out.
I love it.
That's what I want to do.
All you people who own a golf course or live on a golf course, Gene just gave you a perfect thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And video it and send us the video. That would be awesome.
Yeah. We'll
do a linky thing.
Yeah, we'll put the link to our email.
They usually point like this. I don't know what that means.
If you, our email will be here at the bottom. So send us any stories that you may have.
Yeah.
Living on a golf course, hitting into someone's home on a golf course.
How about
it doesn't matter.
hitting your dad in the butt crack?
Oh yeah.
You were there.
Yeah.
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 And even the most rank amateur knows when you hit a golf ball towards somebody, what do you say?
There's a certain term that
there is a term, and even non-golfers know this term.
Four.
What does my son say to me? Heads up. And so I'm going.
Yeah, you look up.
I look up, and the ball smacks me, and he was coming off the tee box. Yeah, the question is, why was I in front of him? That's because I'd hit my ball way left. And I'm old. I get to hit from the senior tees, and so sometimes I go hunting off into the brush. But yeah.
Yeah, he says he hits from the senior tee. He shouldn't be. I've seen the guy play.
He found my butt crack from the tee box. You think about, what are the chances of that?
Yeah.
It makes me wonder.
Well, maybe it's one of the things on purpose. Maybe he remembers something from his childhood.
Knew. Exactly. Oh God, we're gonna have some stories.
I think we need to bring Max on one night.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely do it.
We'll bring him on, and
well, that's going to be another thing.
Yeah.
And I know that we're straying drastically here, but God, we've been talking 21 minutes, and I've got past my first question. Question number 1.
Yeah.
No, but another thing we're going to talk about in a future episode is attending professional golf tournaments. Gene and I both have been to the Masters. Mm-hmm. Gene has been to
the U.S. Open a couple times.
My son has been to several tournaments like that. And I think that's another good thing that would be interesting to touch on. But
I totally agree.
Yeah. You. Let's get back to Gene again. Some of the things that you said you started at 7. Did it ever completely drop off to where you just didn't care about golf?
So, not necessarily. I think there was a time in my life that I put the clubs up.
Okay.
So, I go to college. I played a little bit in college. When I played at Walter State, it really told me how bad I was. because these guys were amazing. But I had fun. I can say that I played college golf.
Yeah.
So when I left Walter State, kind of went through a little phase, hanging out with friends.
Yeah.
So my clubs kind of got pushed to the side, probably for about 5 years. I didn't really play. So this was probably around, 20 or 21 when I put everything up. So obviously, that time of your life you're exploring.
Yeah.
But I put the clubs up. In 5 or 6 years, I kind of picked them back up again. I think it goes back to, people at work, or maybe my dad, kind of not pushing, not asking, but maybe asking to go play.
Yeah.
He had, so we got back into it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So you already talked a little bit about you were involved in other sports and things, and we're very lucky in our area to have several decent golf courses around. I mean, it sounds like, with you and your dad, you all played a lot of like Glen Roki and things like that. Now, I started out, we were at Steels Creek, which is a little 9-hole course. Actually, it used to be 18. At
Really?
one point.
I didn't know that.
They actually had wait a minute. No, I'm sorry. It was still a 9, but they moved 3 holes back across the street.
Okay.
Because it used to holes 7, 8, and 9. You had to go across the street, and we went all the way down to the other end of the park.
Okay.
But yeah. So back to my things. So you've already said your dad, and because I was talking about key people. Coaches and family and friends and stuff.
But not going into name dropping, because obviously that's we're not going to do that here. Our house, when we were in high school, it was a couple of my sports I played. These guys had played college ball. When it came to golf, it was more just a teacher. It was a teacher in the school. Really,
and they were a history teacher.
Yeah, pretty much. And
usually,
and so it's kind of like, hey, let's go hit you a bucket of balls. That was our practice. So there was really no learning, and it's no offense to this guy.
Yeah.
But if you know, you know. If you don't, that's.
Well, we made fun of the golfers.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah, as the football and baseball players and basketball players all made fun of the golfers. It was like being on the tennis team.
Yeah.
But, technically, those are some pretty good athletes. So,
I think that I think I dodged that because I played baseball and basketball.
Gotcha.
So I didn't quite get made fun of.
Excellent. So let me jump into this. It sounds like your family was always very supportive of that. And I know that we played a lot.
Yeah.
And we played in a lot of local tournaments. And, those are fun. They're absolutely a blast. And we'll tell some stories of some of the tournaments later on that nobody's going to believe. But but they're true. But when was it that you got this spark that you decided, I'm going to look into this. I'm going to look into this pro-am tournament.
The amateur players tour.
Amateur players tour.
So it was probably 2.5 years ago. I was playing golf here in town, playing with friends. Still enjoy it, still do it, still love it. But I felt like I just wanted more.
Huh.
I wanted that. I wanted to take I felt like talent, I felt like skills, but I wanted to kind of like see where my game was, where my level was compared to other people, other than just local.
Okay. And I would say that it took, because we played together for a long time, and I don't ever remember you even mentioning this.
Yeah.
So you had to have kind of taken the steps to get to the point of finding the tour and signing up and what all it would take and all that. So can you kind of walk us through that process?
Well, I think that, and I'll back up a few years. I think, obviously the bad time in the world, during COVID, is when this league was started.
Okay.
In 2019, 2020, when this league was started. And obviously, I didn't know about it then, but like I say, 2.5 years ago, I'm like, I love playing golf, and I love playing different courses. Let's see what other, and I don't know if it was necessarily the amateur tour I was looking for. I was just looking for tournaments.
The next step.
Tournaments. Let's go play in some tournaments that I can, enter and, maybe win a gift card, maybe win something.
Yeah.
And luckily enough, the APT popped up. So I kind of read into it, see what it was about, see what the cost was. And the more I dug into it, I'm like, this league has chapters, meaning there's chapters in each state.
Okay.
And some states have more than one.
Okay.
Like I belong to the East Tennessee chapter.
Okay.
Which East Tennessee will run now from Chattanooga, to Johnson City, Kingsport.
Yeah.
So when I found this and I was looking at where they play golf, I'm like, well, that's cool. And so I was like,
So most of your searching was done on the internet.
oh yeah, for sure.
So you just kind of Googled and worked your way
Yeah.
through that.
Yeah.
I can imagine it would be very, I don't know the exact word, not daunting, but that's a pretty hard first step to say, I'm going to play in a tour.
Yeah. I have high confidence, I think. I feel like I do. And obviously going to these tournaments, you don't know anybody.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just you. You're riding in a cart with somebody, you're playing with 3 other people, but it's you against everybody else.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I can do that.
So I know that a lot of people are, I don't know, the handicap system always confused me.
Yeah.
Is that something that you had to get straightened out? Do you have to have some type of approved handicap? And
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm glad you brought that up. It is based on handicap.
okay.
We have 5 divisions, and then the senior divisions after that. So
That's me.
not yet,
Hey, I'm close.
almost.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's you have to get a true handicap from the USGA, and you have to have so many rounds put in for it to be legit. And once you have, like, I think it's 10 scores, then you get grouped into this division, which I'm in Division 3, which means a handicap from 8 to 13. So that I can play someone that's a 13 handicap is going to play in the same division as an 8 handicap. So, I mean, they can't.
So you're not going up against somebody who's a scratch golfer.
Exactly, because they have 0 to 3. And then, I think it's a little more like 3.4, and then it goes 3.5 to 6 or whatever it may be, 8. That's
Okay.
8. So you get in this division, and the league is ran really well. It's new. It's only been around for 5 years, but they have a committee. They have a competition committee. They have handicap committee. I think if you didn't improve each year, I think that, you're wasting your time. But they have this. They have it worked out. Pretty good. It keeps people from cheating. The sandbaggers.
Yeah.
That.
The people that's playing the scrambles we always play in.
Yeah. Somebody that shoots. A team shoots 39.
39. Yeah.
But yeah.
And they didn't have any mulligans.
No mulligans.
Yeah.
No trash. As
No
they call it.
trash. Well, okay, so I'm going to ask the hard questions later on, and
Okay.
that's going to be about how much all this costs and,
Okay.
and that. But you said something that made me, wonder. You said if you're not improving, don't waste your time, kind of, sort of. And you said you were self-taught. Have you ever gone and taken lessons to maybe step your game up?
I have. I take a lot of pride in my game, and as I got when I was younger, I would have been like, no, this is something I'm going to do myself.
Right.
Looking back, I should have, but I have taken a couple of lessons. Here at our home course, Clear Creek, golf club, I've taken a lesson up there. There's a place in Myrtle Beach that I have taken a lesson, because I wanted to find out, I knew my struggles. I don't want these people to change my swing.
Right.
Everybody's different. Everybody's built different. Just because, you have one way swinging doesn't mean that's the way I need to swing, or vice versa. So it's like, I took these lessons to like, hey, here's my problem. Let's see how we can fix this. And, it's not going back and erasing everything that I knew, but it's
Just a little tweaking.
A little tweaking on it.
Okay. Well, that helps a lot.
Yeah.
And we've talked a little bit about what it takes to get to the league and to
Yeah.
find it and to do that. So kind of in the Wayback Machine,
Yeah.
tell us, kind of walk us through a typical first day. I mean, like when you wake up that morning, I'd say the first morning you were nervous as all.
Oh
get
yeah.
out.
My first tournament was in Lenoir City, Tennessee. Take off. That morning, it was close enough. I didn't need to spend the night. Didn't know what to expect. How's this thing work? I'm here to play golf.
Well, just real quick to jump to the side too. I mean, most of the tournaments that we play in here locally, it's very lighthearted, and you don't have a lot of really high competition. You have a bunch of guys that are there to have fun, and that to me would seem like that's not what you would experience.
Yeah. Well, the division I'm in, there's golf is funny. One day you can go out and shoot 75. The next day you come out and shoot 95. So going into each tournament, think about the other guys, how good are these guys? Just kind of sizing them up, if you will. And, this competition is a little more than just going out and playing golf. There's you have to kind of get in a tournament focus, which just sounds so weird. You have to learn. The guy told me one time, you have to learn how to play in these tournaments.
Oh, I can imagine.
And I'm like, I don't know what you mean. And, it's, you don't chase somebody, don't chase scores. You go out and be you. If you do the best you can, that's all you can do. And somebody beats you, they just play better.
Okay.
I've got a tee time at 8:30. I get there an hour before. I check in, I do my practice, and I'm ready to go. The cool thing about it, when you go to the first tee, they make it feel like a true tournament. They actually announce your name.
Oh, how cool.
And where you're from.
Oh,
and,
wow.
And which, chapter if I'm playing in a major,
Yeah.
which is, all chapters, they'll announce which chapter I'm in, but most of the time they announce your name, and they'll makes it feel it just makes
official.
This gives you that feeling of an actual tournament. It's so cool.
All right, so you're in the cart. You got 3 other guys with you. They don't have to be in your division.
No.
So you could be playing a scratch golfer. God, that to me that would make it worse. I would much rather have all of my guys just as bad as me.
They try to match you up with divisions. Now, if there's an odd number, you may have to get paired up with a Division II. Now, I've not played with a Division I scratch golfer, but I have played with Division II before. And it's a pretty close line. Obviously, they're better, but I have played with them. Also, I mean, there is a lot to it. I would love for everybody just to kind of check it out, research it. There's different tees, a senior tees, and you can be a senior in a senior division, but playing in Division III.
Okay.
Just meaning that they get to move up on their tees. Yeah.
So the one thing that leads me to think about, and Gene and I both, through no tournaments on my part, but just knowing people who are very good golfers, we've played with golfers who are scratch golfers. And the one thing I can tell you is they make mistakes just like we do.
Oh, absolutely.
So, don't think that they're perfect all the time. You know,
I mean,
so
unless they're professional, even professionals, make mistakes.
make mistakes.
But, that's why we're amateurs. That's why we work for a living.
Yeah.
But but it's fun. But I will say this: the most nerve-wracking shot to this whole tournament is that very first one. It's like I love the name. I love to tell me where I'm from, and I get up there. I'm like, all right, here we go. It's like.
Well, I mean, it makes it feel professional.
Yeah.
It makes it feel real.
Yeah.
And that just sounds like that would. I've offered to caddy for him, and they won't let me.
I would love, if there's a tournament that offers caddies,
Oh, I'm there, man.
like it has to be the course, that offers caddies.
Yeah.
And then because that way everybody has the opportunity to get a caddy if they want to.
I think that'd be so fun.
That was one of my questions when I first signed up. I was like, hey, can we have caddies? Because I feel like, this is a big deal for me. I feel like this is the next step, as you said earlier. This is the next step to grow my game. And I feel like if I had a caddy, there's sometimes
You just need to talk it out.
I just need someone to kick me in the butt or just talk me down.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it's even though it's super nice people that you play with.
They're on their, they're trying to do their thing
Yeah.
too. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. You tell people it's a great shot. But
And they're just like,
yeah.
Well, and this leads me to something else too, and that must be my catchphrase because I think I've said that about 500 times. This leads me to the next thing. The one thing I've noticed is anytime you're playing in tournaments, most of the time, you have the support of your wife.
Yeah.
She's either sitting on the beach reading a book or doing something cool, and she seems like she's always there with you. And I think that support is really awesome.
Yeah. Who I know your wife would.
Yeah.
But how many wives would go to one of these tournaments and wait 6 hours?
And just wait. Yeah.
Because, like I said
Hang
earlier,
out.
I get there an hour before my tee time.
Yeah.
It's usually almost 5 hours of playing, maybe 5.5.
Yeah.
And then I go and, to the clubhouse, turn everything in. She loves to read, so she'll hang out and read and take nap or whatever it may be. And she's getting a little more brave to wander off to like go shopping or maybe just go to the store just down the road a little bit, not too far.
Was she afraid you would get hit with a ball or get eaten by an alligator?
That probably, possibly.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, yes. So good on you, Topaz.
Yeah.
You did. I'm proud of you for that. So you've kind of done the thing. You're playing, and you're kind of getting into the groove now. And so you make the turn. Did they like fanfare and like streamers or?
I wish that was true.
Do they give you a hot dog or?
Oh, I definitely wish that was true. It's kind of like, you make that turn. Is a turn a beer or do I just keep on going?
Yeah, I know. I mean, because, that's the thing. We're always used to when we make the turn, it's time to poop. It's time to, get a beer and a hot dog and just kind of take a breath. But I guess unless you've following the lead from somebody who's done it before, you're just kind of like, oh.
Well, talking about beer and drinking on the course, I don't necessarily.
Yeah.
The max I'll have is 1 per 9. And my whole thought process, I'm paying to play golf.
Right.
And I'm wanting to go out. I'm a pretty serious golfer. I want to go out and do my best. And I don't want to get too many in me.
So that is allowed.
Yeah, for sure.
Wow, I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah.
But I guess, it's all part of golf. And I mean, some people do and some people don't. And that's perfectly fine. Whichever is, don't make yourself a burden to the people who are with you. But if you want to do that and you can still keep your head about you, fine.
The cool thing about this league is that we have an app, and we keep live scoring. So
so you can check on what everybody else is doing.
You can,
wow.
Sometimes there might be mistakes. The live scoring is not the official, the scorecard with signed 2 signatures is the official. But it kind of keeps you. I don't look at it because like if I feel like if I'm right there, then I think it kind of I tense up. So I usually just don't
Play your game.
I don't even bother. So I just got done with Myrtle Beach just a few days ago over the weekend, and it was a 2-day tournament. And the first day, I was 4 shots out of the lead.
Oh wow!
And so I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. So I get my tee time, I go out and play, have a great front 9, and what somebody do? They mentioned it. They mentioned the scoring. And I'm like, oh my God. so therefore 10, 11, and 12, I don't know how people do it. I don't know what that process is to like
Just keep
let it go. But it's like I had a bad hole on number 10, and then I kind of let that carry over to 11. And so for the next 6, I had to catch up. And obviously I didn't, but I did finish 10th. So
that's still damned impressive, if you ask me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good. So along those same lines, you've made it to the end. You've already talked about how that just certain things can just put you on the bad path.
Mm-hmm.
And you also mentioned that there's different formats for these. You've got single-day tournaments, multi-day tournaments, and what's the longest one you've played in?
A 3-day for this league. We actually went to down towards Daytona, or excuse me, Orlando, and played. It was the end of the year major. It was the finale. Everybody that plays so many tournaments gets invited. So we went to Florida and played in a 3-day tournament. It was a lot of fun.
That sounds really cool. So the other thing too is like when you finish, so you've done your thing, you've finished, like when we're playing, we spend another hour and a half in the parking lot, just being stupid. So I guess, your family's there waiting on you, and you just go and you just say goodbye to the guys you played with, and walk away.
We turn our cards in, and obviously if there's any money on the line for myself, I'll stick around. And I usually stick around anyway, just in case, because there's still other teams playing. Yeah. And to see if maybe I want some money on the skins or whatever it may be, and just kind of have a beer after the end of the round beer. And, other than that, once there's no money or once it's all over, you just kind of, you do pack up and leave.
Wow.
If there's people that you've known and played with for a few times, you kind of.
And I'd say that's growing.
It is. You. Oh, definitely. Like I said, I've been on it for 2 years, and I have gotten to know people over the last 2 years. So I play in 2 different chapters. I'll play in Myrtle Beach, and I'll play in East Tennessee. So I've kind of gotten to know some people.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, a lot of these things that we go to, and just the local stuff, they have like a banquet. And is there anything like that happens maybe in the little...
Not really. So,
you should. ATP, you should have a banquet. You should have a dinner. Everybody get together. Come on.
APT.
APT. What did I say?
ATP.
ATP.
I think,
but
it's I'm having so much fun. I haven't played a lot here local.
Since it's like.
Yeah,
I ain't playing there. It's beneath me. I'm not playing with you anymore.
You little peasants. Come on now.
Peasants. I won't play there. All right. So after your first or couple of tournaments, was there something? I'm sure that there were 2 different versions. There was a version where that you just knew in your head there was going to be a certain thing that was going to happen, and it didn't. And then you probably went into it, and there was probably a time when you had no clue that this thing was going to happen. So was there something that kind of happened like that, where you were like, oh, crap, I wasn't expecting that?
Are you saying as far as finishing or
no, just
in general?
In general. I mean, I would say because your very first tournament, you had to go into it with some expectations, oh, this is going to be this way. And maybe it didn't turn out that way.
The one thing that I can tell you from the very first tournament, I went in with a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
You know, I knew where my game was.
Yeah.
Had no clue where everybody else was. So I'm like, if I just go play my game and shoot what my average, I'm like, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
And getting started, we started saying, oh wow, these guys, they're playing like I am. You start seeing people that's on the same level.
Yeah.
And I mess up, they mess up, so it's kind of like who's going to mess up first. I think my very first tournament, I think I finished third.
That's awesome.
I was right there. I was happy. Obviously I missed out on the money, but
But that was a hook.
I was hooked.
Talking about fishing, that's when Gene was hooked on the PTA.
APT.
PT. Yeah. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, after that first tournament, so our season starts in September. It goes September to kind of September.
You just mentioned playing golf last week, and it was 4 degrees here. So
it wasn't much warmer
down there.
No, it was. We got up 23.
Oh my God!
One morning, yeah. It was Saturday, so it was a 2-day tournament. I was down there. Saturday was nice. Sunday morning was good. When we made the turn on that second 9, temperature, you can feel it.
Oh, wow.
You can feel the wind shifting coming in, and you can just feel the air changing. But we knew the cold weather was coming in.
In golf is one of those things that's kind of difficult to play when you're cold because, first off, you've got a layer, and then that restricts motion, and then your stinking hands get so cold that you can't hold a club, and then if you are wearing some type of winter weight golf gloves, it. But
I would love our little segment. We're talking about this APT, and I would love for people.
APT.
I would love for people to join with me. To travel with me. Obviously, my Topaz loves going, and I would ask her every time to go with me. She enjoys it. Like I say, she may not do much, but she just loves the road trip.
Oh yeah.
But I think with if you had some friends that was in it and just understood what this league was about, they do a lot for folds of honor. So I think they at the end of the year, the tournament in Florida I went to. They do this folds of honor that they've collected throughout the year. And
wow.
I think it was like $75,000 or something like that.
Holy cow.
That went towards folds of honor.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, brain cramp. I talked a little bit about this to begin with, and that was the money.
Mm-hmm.
And considering we've got about maybe 10 minutes left on this. So this is the hard question. How much does it cost to actually pull this off? And I'm talking about not only just joining, but, you talk about you're lucky with accommodations in Myrtle Beach.
Right.
But, the normal person would be, 3 or 4 nights accommodations, gas money. So what is... kind of walk us through how much this actually costs, and then maybe how much return is available.
So, we extend our stays. If we are staying, if it's a 1-day tournament, that is say over 4 or 5 hour drive. A lot of times we'll stay, but sometimes we'll extend that stay and just have a good time afterwards.
Yeah.
But to join this league, it's you have a yearly membership. It's $135 to join.
That's not bad.
And that gives you access to discounts. You get a $50 gift card to. They have an actual store at APT. You can buy shirts, hats, socks, whatever. But most of these tournaments,
and that stands for point after attempt, right?
Something like that.
I thought so. Okay, so
once I joined for $135, I get my login, I go looking at tournaments. All right, let's see where I can go, see where I can play. And most tournaments are anywhere from 110 to 200.
Well, still, that's, some of the courses that you were talking about playing, $200.
Yeah, I mean, it seems a little steep. But and I think I mentioned earlier, and I'll say it again, I don't play less than 10 in my division, but just because of return. I felt like 10 people gives my entry back plus some. And then that's all I did it for. I wasn't in to make money.
Oh, yeah.
I was in it to let's pay for my next tournament.
That's awesome.
That was my goal. If I can pay, if I can win my entry fee and maybe some gas money or maybe a one night stay or something like that's all I'm asking for. That's what I want to win because this funds the next tournament.
So basically, it sounds like that if somebody joined just tomorrow, that they could, the $135, wasn't it?
Yep, $135.
$135 for yearly membership. Then they could probably find them a good 1 day tournament for $100.
Yeah,
and probably not have to drive very far. A couple hours.
If you live in this area, you can play the East Tennessee chapter, which is the most I travel is 3.5 hours towards Chattanooga.
Yeah.
And I can go to North Carolina,
yeah.
somewhere around Charlotte.
In the same amount of time.
So I have this radius of 3.5. That's the max I want to drive and come back.
And come back.
In 1 day, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of stout. So, I mean, technically you could do that. So you're talking $235 for no staying overnight kind of thing, but, add another $50 for gas and a snack. And so.
Yeah, we usually get something good to eat, make a day out of it.
So you're talking still worst case scenario. If you walked away from it from that point and said, this is not for me, $300. But it sounds to me like that there's not going to be a lot of people that do that. It sounds like somebody's going to be hooked, like Mr. Gene got hooked.
I totally agree. Now, the APT will allow you to play in 2 tournaments without joining.
Oh, really?
So but if you win money, you don't get that money. It goes towards your membership.
Well, that's a great thing. I didn't know it. Yeah, that was good that you mentioned that, because then you're talking somebody could go in $150 and at least experience 1 or 2 tournaments, and decide if, hey, this is something I may like to try to do. So
they said it. They don't like for you to go more than 2 times.
Yeah.
If I invited someone to come and check out the league and play.
Yeah.
Now their fee will be a little bit more than my member fee.
Okay.
Probably $20 to $30 more. But like I say, they don't like for it to go more than 2 times.
Gotcha.
Because they feel like 2 times, and they're probably right. You can kind of get a feel for it. Is this for me? Do I want to spend my time and effort to do this? But I didn't do that. I jumped in both feet. I just did it.
I love it. All right, so we're running out of time pretty close. I mean, and I don't know if we're supposed to say that or not, but I think that this is a fantastic thing, and just being on the outside looking in, I've seen you frustrated, but I don't think I've ever seen you regretful about it. Yeah. You've always been excited, and I've been excited for you. I think it's a great opportunity for somebody who's at a little higher level than I am. I couldn't do this, but Gene could, and there's a lot of other people that are similar that I think that probably had no idea that this was even something that you could do.
Yeah.
And so I think that this was great for us to talk to Gene about this today and kind of get our feet wet the way he got his feet wet. But this now you've kind of got a buddy. Gene has walked you through this, and so a lot of the things that he's had to experience that basically he's done cold turkey. He's done on his own. I think this actually will give us a great opportunity in a future, maybe next show, to to kind of elaborate on some of the requirements. Like, I think that I've always been kind of intimidated by a golf handicap.
Yeah.
And maybe we can next show we can talk a little bit about that and make it not so difficult and so intimidating for somebody else to go ahead and do that, because it sounded like that was kind of one of the early steps that you needed to take. I have asked all the questions that I should ask, and I'm sure that probably people may send some questions in and stuff, and we'll try to answer those. This is our first one of these
First
things.
one, man.
God,
I tell you,
it's been a blast.
I appreciate the questions. You know, they were good questions.
Good answers too.
I think that our first episode, this was fantastic. You know, obviously this is not going to be this way every week.
No, and
I think this is kind of leading up to our next episode or our next.
Yeah, because at some point we're going to talk about beer and fishing.
Yeah,
and I know we kind of didn't do that this time, but I really thought that this was something that needed the full time that, you know, and I'm sure that you'll probably edit a chunk or two out of this and get us down to an hour, but this really required an hour. I mean, to get all the answers and stuff. And I think, you know, I'm sure that nobody out there right now is just like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah.
But at least hopefully they've gotten over the initial fear of, I can't do this.
Yeah.
You know, this is outside of my wheelhouse.
Well, I think you're right. I think people look at the big picture that, you know, it's a tournament. It's a amateur players tour, and I don't think I can do that kind of thing.
I mean, I can, even at the point of listening, I think if I walked up onto the first tee and they announced my name, I would turn around and leave because I would be terrified. Well, not only that, they wouldn't let me play in my overalls.
Yeah. I will say this. I have hit great shots off that first tee, and I have hit bad shots off that first tee. So it's...
Well, it sounds like that. It sounds to me like your game. I'm curious to play with you now. Yeah. I mean, it's been a couple of years since we've played together. I had bad stuff happen to my back, so I've not played golf in quite a while. And I'm curious to see the new Gene, the PAT tournament pro, APT tournament pro that Gene has.
Well, now you're just building me up.
I'm going to build you up because
that's failure, man.
It's just going to be awesome. I think it's going to be really cool.
Here's the thing I expect though: when we go to that first tee, I expect you to announce my name.
I will, and I will. I mean, I'm going to bring like one of them little megaphone things. Now stepping up to the tee.
Yeah.
Gino. Delicious. So yeah, I think that's really cool. Well, Gene, I don't know how long we can keep talking.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I've been asking all the questions and I've just thrown stuff at you. So sorry.
No, it's
I didn't really let you lead at all. It's kind of like when we dance.
Yeah,
I know.
I'll get this out there. I did have an outro.
An outro? Oh, we have an outro.
I think.
Is that like a belly button thing?
Yeah, if it is. But
Can I sing? Sway the cookie crumbles. No, that's.
Let's see.
Yeah.
We don't have a catchphrase.
We don't have a catchphrase yet, but we'll work on it. We're gonna keep working on it, and
I'll tell you
we'll find out. Yes.
If you would look behind you there and grab that Food City bag.
Hey, proud sponsors of Food City. How's this for product placement?
There you go, Steve Smith. Give us a kickback.
Yeah, Mr. Smith, you didn't see that, didn't you? Oh, and the other thing too is I can't hear myself now because I take my headphones off. But Gene brought beer.
Here you go.
Oh,
we're going to open these up in the mic.
We're going to open these up in the mic. Okay, hang on. Whoa, I like the name of them. Oh, and
don't open it yet.
Okay, Tennessee Hills. Great place if you've not been there. As a matter of fact, my wife is there right now, and they're doing is that
the Christmas?
Christmas.
Is that tonight?
Yeah, it's for like the next 3 days. So But yeah, and we did their signs. Well, I say we. The place that we're in right now, as you can see, there's a lot of signs and stuff. It's a sign manufacturing place along with everything else. And yeah, they did the Tennessee Hills signs. They look really good. Bert, Fred, good job, man. Okay, so I'm ready. Please tell me we don't have to shotgun these or something.
Oh, no.
Thank goodness. Am I going to make a funny face? See, I will have to say this and ahead of time, but I don't like beer unless it's really sour, and Gene's made it. Yeah, I'm a sour kind of, Goza kind of guy, and yeah, Gene's corrupted me with the beer he brews. So,
Unranked.
and I'm unhinged.